bump up to 174 pounds as the semifinals continue. TeShan Campbell of Pitt, the freshman, 18-8, taking on Zach Epperly of Virginia Tech. Epperly at 9-1 this year, 4-0 in ACC duels. Epperly entering this postseason on an 8-match winning streak and secured 3 pins and 3 other bonus pointers for the Hokies. He's a returning All-American, finished 7th last year for Coach Kevin Dresser. His only loss this season, hasn't wrestled a lot of bouts. His only loss was to top-ranked Bo Nickel of Penn State.
That's an okay loss.
Yeah, a shame there.
Yeah, that kid's been on fire.
It was an exciting trip to Atlanta, Georgia this year for the All-Star Classic, the NWCA All-Star meet, because Virginia Tech was represented with both Epperly and Walls, and both picked up the program's first 2 wins at the All-Star Challenge in Atlanta.
Nice outside single there by Epperly, but his head got caught on the outside, so now we're able to see Campbell's defense mature a little bit more than it should have. He got his head back underneath, and again, this is the same position you're seeing over and over again. Trap the bottom leg, step over top, control the top leg, take it over your head, score 2 points. Why Epperly's not stepped over yet? Not sure yet. There he goes. Adjusts it, puts back into place. He may even be looking to stack here. He's tight enough. Sometimes when wrestlers get caught in that position, what they'll do is they'll look to stack their opponent and get just like a flash fall. Ends up finishing the basic style, get a nice 2-point takedown, and work from top now.
Campbell's able to get to his feet. Epperly, as required, brings him right back down. Inside a minute to go in this first period. Last year's All-American with a 2-0 lead. Change as the 2 wrestlers go out of bounds. And we mentioned the All-Star Challenge this year, good representation with Epperly and his teammate Walls. They tried a couple of things different this year at the challenge. They went with the 4-point near fall as kind of a test basis, kind of an experimental run, along with a 3-point takedown, which made things a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I think the 3-point takedown is probably a little bit more functional than a 4-point near fall. If nothing else, it magnifies the importance of the takedown in comparison to the escape. Escape a lot of times can just be for free. You don't really want to incentivize only 1 point of action. If you can get a tilt for 4 points, that's 1 action for 4 points. A takedown's a little bit harder than most tilts, right? And that only gets you 1 point aggregately. So I think that's what they were trying to do, give you 2 points aggregate for that action. We'll see if it ever goes into effect.
Epperly continues to ride as we wind down the first period. The ultimate goal, the common denominator with a lot of these rule changes over the next 2 seasons here at the NCAA level, was to kind of mimic some of the international flair and where you don't have such passive wrestling, but rewarding the guy who's more aggressive taking shots.
Yeah, you want to, what they do in international wrestling, if anyone's not aware, is they definitely reward technical action. So when you go for a big 5-point throw, in wrestling it's a headlock or something. In college wrestling, at the international level, that's gonna be a 4-point move, feet to back, no matter what happens. Nice little shoulder roll there by Epperly. Gets back up to his feet.
And he gets away. So a 3-0 lead on the young Pitt wrestler.
Right now, collegiate wrestling is definitely focused more on control and not as much on these technical actions, which kind of takes takes a little steam away. You keep seeing a lot of ride outs and those kind of things. But you're right, they're definitely trying to implement a little bit more of that, especially with the out of bounds lines. We don't know if there'll ever be a push out rule, but you can see that the out of bounds is not anymore just a place where people can run away.
They've wiped out finger locking this year. First time is a stalemate. Second time
nice
you get hit with a
shot
point.
There.
Yeah, look at Campbell shoot around. But Epperly just keeps those
legs
going,
moving.
and he gets the 2.
Yeah, that was really good wrestling. Good sequence.
It's an All-American type move there. All-American type counter by Zach Epperly. And he goes on top, 5-0.
Well, there's a lot to be said for how quickly doubt can creep into your mind as a wrestler, especially a young wrestler. And Epperly just find someone's behind him. He's not going to worry too much. He was able to shoulder roll out and find a quick switch and the 2-point takedown.
He's going to stalling underneath for Campbell. Not doing a lot underneath, and a lot of that has to do with what Epperly has been able to inflict in the top position. Just won't let that left wrist get free. Now he sticks the half in on the right side.
Here's that sequence again. You can see.
Epperly continues to ride comfortably out of bounds with 5 seconds to go in the period. He has over 2 minutes of riding time and a 5-0 lead. Very workmanlike performance from Zach Epperly. Tim, let's go back to the offense here, and how about the footwork of Epperly?
Great. Well, first of all, great shot defense by Campbell. Then you saw this modified shoulder roll you saw from his base as well, right into a high crotch, right into a double. And what else do you want from your guy? That he's going to keep wrestling. I always say make it like water. You want to keep flowing from move to move to move, and I think Epperly's shown that he's able to do that from such a young age.
Chain wrestling on display.
Nice high crotch there by Epperly. If he can finish, this will be a feather in his cap. Gotta watch out for the cradle here by Epperly.
Epperly, control of the arm and leg for a moment, now drops down to just the leg. Still no points awarded. Campbell trying to hang on up top. Epperly can free his head. Tries to reposition, and he does, and he gets the 2.
We saw it again, right? Epperly was in a bad position. He's looking for the fall out of bounds.
And there is the fall and the huge bonus points that come with it for Virginia Tech.
I think that'll be challenged. Both wrestlers were completely out of bounds by the time of the fall. Epperly's right-footed drag was in bounds, but it had dragged out.
So they are going to take a look here, and Tim, what are we watching for as far as the fall?
We're looking for the back leg. It's kind of hard to see this right leg. You'll see he's great position. By the time it comes out, you see his right foot's past. He's well out of bounds at this point. The right foot of Epperly was out of bounds by the point the fall was called.
So they will take a look over